I'm Dr. Kirsty Elliot and I'm an Associate Professor of Female Physiology. Today I'm going to be talking to the players about how their menstrual cycle might affect their performance and their health.
Coming around the corner, Hunter. This is around to Harrison, out the back to Scarratt.
It's just interesting to learn more about that side of things. We get so much information on nutrition and physiology and all that sort of stuff, but we kind of neglect that a little bit. So it's been really interesting to learn about that.
Clearly, it makes sense that many athletes and players perceive their periods to be an inconvenience, and no one can blame them for that. But in the long term, if an athlete has a period, as I said, this reflects what we call a normal menstrual cycle. This shows that their reproductive axis, so basically their body is acting in the way it should do. And this reflects good health, and this is what we want to see. If you stop having it unexpectedly, this can sometimes be used as an early warning detection system for potential low energy availability. And really our bodies are very clever. It basically makes a decision on the day, do I have enough energy to support reproductive function? Clearly it's not a priority for many athletes. They don't need to have a baby on that day, so the body sacrifices it in lieu of the demands of the sport, and therefore athletes lose their periods. So as I say, it's a really great early warning detection system.
Generally, my nutrition will stay the same throughout the month. Obviously, probably more aware of trying to top up like my iron and stuff after I've had my period, things like spinach and red meat.
So it's making sure that you're fueling for the demands of your sport. We must start to track our menstrual cycles, and that's really easy to do. It really is just marking the date on the calendar when you have your period. Ideally, it's great to track how many days you bleed for, and then obviously you can sort of almost put that to one side and then just track again when it comes back the next month. So in order to be termed sort of healthy, you should be having at least 9 periods a year.
It's really important to understand your own body, get to know yourself. You can start to track that a little bit better through those apps which are free, and all of a sudden you have a much better picture of what's going on and can then figure out, well, I'm in phase 2, what does that feel like to me? Is it a high energy bit? Am I dipping? Do I crave sugary foods? Am I balanced? And for me that's really important because then I can relate that back to my training. I know perhaps when I can push a bit harder if I'm feeling good.
So it's great that we've been able to obviously, shift this now and really bring it into the spotlight in a really positive way, because it should be perceived as something that's a positive, an indicator of good health, and the avoidance of injury clearly leads to better performance. I personally find that in my experience, whenever I come to speak with female athletes, they're always really ready and prepared to speak about this, and it should be no different than having a conversation about sleep or food or anything else that we would consider to affect performance.